wonderful people. How have you been? How are you doing? It's me back again with another exciting episode. And today we are doing a trainer series. And I am in Kitengela, Kajiado County. Watu wa Kajiado, I'm feeling the love. Lakini leo jua limenimulika zaidi. But either way, what do we do? So I'm here with a trainer and I'll let him introduce himself, introduce his kennel, and I'll let him also share his journey about training dogs with us. So Bonnie, karibu sana.
Asante sana. My name is Bonnie Mukua, and I'm well known as a park leader. This is a nickname I got from friends who I worked for some bit of time. And I appreciate so much you guys being here. You're welcome. And can take you through my kennels, plus my dogs. You get to know them. And anything you want to know beyond that, I'm very much open to that.
Okay, thank you.
So we can go to the kennels.
Okay. So how many dogs do you have here?
I normally don't keep numbers of my dogs as such because they come in and go. I have dogs that come in for correction. I have dogs that come for fresh training. I have dogs that come in for let's say retraining. I can say also that. So they come and go. So normally I don't have a specific number, but I don't want to hold a lot of dogs because dogs are here for training, not for leisure.
The music.
Yes.
Some very nice classical music. Tell me about the music.
I think with age you'll understand jazz music and classic music is just for the comfort of the brain. So these happen to be for the comfort of the dogs. As they are sleeping, you can see they're just basking whether they are slept because the music is just polite and keeping them on a low tone of movement. Yeah, you can see the cows, they are sleeping and enjoying the music. Yeah.
Actually, I have to say something about that. You can see the proximity of where I'm standing and where the dogs are. And the dogs are just sleeping, lying there. They are not barking. It's not as loudy as I'm used to when I first get close to a kennel. Oh my God, that's magic.
It plays wonders actually for the dogs. They relax and they sleep well. And it's easy for me because when they're training, it's an easy job for me. You find they are most calm and they can work extra hours for me.
Okay,
yeah.
Now let's see the dogs.
You're welcome.
Aww.
This is Zena. This is the oldest dog I have here. Zena is 4 years now. She's an EDD dog. That's an explosive detection dog. She's the most experienced here. And I can say she's the most experienced at working. And the dogs I've had on my kennels, she's among the best dogs. Yeah.
So this cute little thing here is a working dog?
It's a purely working dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I have German Shepherd. It's called Lily.
Lily.
Yeah. She's under training also. She's just 11 months now.
Oh,
she's doing very good.
Puppy.
She's a puppy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, except Zena, the rest are puppies. They're young. So they're all under training. Yeah.
So she's completely trained. She's just chillaxing.
Fully trained dog. Fully working dog. She's actually traveled. She's been to South Sudan. She's been to Sudan. Somali. And recently she was in Ethiopia. Yeah, so she's here on holiday.
Watu wangu, this dog is here on holiday. When was the last time you took a holiday from work? She's been working. Okay, the other one?
That's a German Shepherd. She's 10 months old. Come. She's called Biro.
She's too calm.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to live there.
She likes sipping her time and life just behind the kennels.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a very polite dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some solid blacks here.
Yeah, solid blacks. They're still sleeping. It's called Caris, named after the person who sold it.
Caris?
Yeah. The three are from the same litter. No, the two. These are different litter. Yeah, the two are 8 months. She's 9. But they're all KDTs. They're training.
Okay.
Yeah, K is a question mark and then detection dogs. Yeah. We're working on something that is still very discreet. That's why I don't want to come very open about it until we're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all puppies and they're training.
How old?
This is Caris. This is called Sarah. She's also sleeping. Hey. She's enjoying her moments. I think you just came to disrupt her.
It reminded me of my mother waking me up to go to school. Hey.
They're all relaxed. And they're all friendly. It's very abnormal to find German Shepherd together, playing all together. But with my kennels, all dogs will come out together at the same time. Yeah, they don't fight. They don't crawl at one another. Because I have to do that. I have to make sure they're conditioned that they don't fight. They do not fight. Because at one point they have to work together. Because you'll find maybe the two will go the same contract, and maybe the same handler, and they have to work together. So they have to learn as they're growing as puppies to work as a team.
Oh.
Yeah. The youngest here and the most vibrant. She's a very good puppy. She's also training. She's an EDD dog. And she's very, very active. I think when she'll come out, you'll see how she is. She's very active and very friendly also.
So how long have you been training dogs?
It's a long journey. I've been with dogs from 2006. And that's professionally trained, tested, and put into account of working with dogs. So I've trained them, I've worked with them, and I've accounted for the moments I've worked with them, which is positively written down, not just by word of mouth. Yeah.
So when it comes to training dogs, did you have to learn it officially? Like, is this what you studied for?
Yes. My training is formal education. I got my formal education. That's above my passion and I can say talent also. Because training dogs is not just something I woke up and start doing it. I had a passion for the dogs. But then came the formal education, which I learned from one of the best institutions in the country, which after that I got more advanced training out of the country. That is in South Africa, Pretoria. Then I came back. I was working in South Sudan. I've worked in Somalia. And that means a bunch of experience in my field.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said one of the best training institutions in the country. Do we have a dog training institution in the country?
Yes, we do. We have private security companies. We have the military. We have the police. They all have, they're doing training.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that. I thought like when you go to a security training school, you train for security and then the dogs just happen to be there. It's a special course by itself.
Yeah. In most security firms, you'll find they'll train about man guarding. That's the guards you find. Then you'll find they have a docket of fire. They have a docket of dog training, not even dog training, dog handling. Then there are more dockets even for VIP protection. But I guess when you get there, when they realize your passion to the dogs is more higher, they'll give you a chance to learn about dogs. But not all security firms. I think few of them. Yeah.
Okay. Your name came up while I was visiting a breeder, and he has these international working dogs, and you are one of the guys involved in training the dogs for that, and I think also the process. Can you kindly tell me about that? How does one get to train their dogs to become international working dogs?
I think the level of training also matters a lot, because if you look at what you're selling locally and what you're selling international are two different things. So basically I can say this should be Athivan, who you came across my name, because I work closely with him when I get my dogs from. He happens to be one of the best breeders I know around. So when I select best dogs from him, I also have my market, which is actually international market, whereby I can say last week we were supposed to have a meeting and we bounced because I was exporting some dogs. So basically what happens is that I trained on a more latest training methods, which happens to be accepted by international companies at the moment. So when they know you have that knowledge, they'll use you, not actually use in a bad way, but they'll use your skills to get what they really want. So that's why you come to my kennels, you'll realize I don't have all dogs. I pick puppies, I train them, and export them. The client will come here, they will look at the dog, they will test the dogs. When they are happy that this is what you want, they'll take them away. So for me, it's more of a business model that I train, I select the puppies, I train, they come, they test the dogs, they try them to their best standards, they choose the dogs. Like on Thursday when you're expecting me, I had exported 8 dogs. Out of the 8, the litter was 10 dogs. They got 8 which were the best for them. So they took the 8 and they remained the 2. So that's what it goes about when the international community, I can say, they know you can do what they really want. Yeah.
Now, You've said selecting a puppy. Question now. Do these puppies belong to you, or do they belong to a breeder that you've taken from and now you're training them for the breeders? Or how does it work?
I don't train for any breeder. For him, I train his dog also, because we have dogs we've trained together. But for these ones, I buy from him. His dogs are more registered and they're very expensive because they're actually very good breeds. So they're very expensive. So when I buy them from him, I select and choose the dogs, then I buy them from him. Then I train them, and I'll get another person who will buy them from me also. So this person, we have a memorandum of understanding. The companies that I'm selling them to. So we have like a contract which is running. They come, check the dog, pick the dogs they want, the best dogs they take. So for the breeder, we work together. Like I go, select good dogs from him, I come train them and sell them out.
Now, I have these young men I've met who are passionate about dogs, and they are training dogs and their knowledge is kinda informal from the University of YouTube. What advice would you give to such men? And it's not just them, it's somebody else out there wondering, like, what would I do with my life? And they love dogs and they are watching us and they are thinking, there's something like that. What advice would you have for such a person?
I think one thing, it comes from passion first. If you have the passion, it's very easy out there. And if there's someone there who really wants to know about dogs, visit these people who are breeding dogs. I know you learn mistakes and you learn corrective things also at the end of the day. And we personally, as a trainer, let me say me as a trainer, I will not mind anybody coming to visit me. As long as you're coming to learn, you come, I'll teach you what I can. And I'll give you what I think you really need. If you'll ask me, I'll tell you. So they should come out and visit people who have dogs, people who they've heard about. Watch your YouTube channel also. They learn from other trainers, other breeders. Because I'm sure if they watch your channel, they'll know people they didn't know. So along the way, they'll come across Nakuru, let me go to Nyash, go see what is there. Come to Limuru, go to Moha and learn what is there. Come this side of Kitengela, go to Athivine, you learn something. Go side of Kikuyu, there is Solo. Moldo is the other side. So you see, when you move around, you'll get to learn what people are doing differently. And I think at the end of the day, when you learn several different things, you'll have a corrective means of moving ahead, knowing what you're supposed to know. Dog breeding, dog training, it's quite a very lucrative job if you really do it professionally. Yeah.
So when it comes to the dogs, do you breed yourself or do you just do puppy selections from other breeders?
As I said before, I don't breed dogs. It's quite a tall order for me. I'd want to, but I think the attachment will be too much for me when I say I'm selecting half and giving out half. So the best is I have breeders that I've selected. Athivine is one of them, who's actually my top supplier. And together we've supplied dogs in South Sudan, Somalia, Eritrea, and currently working for Mali. We have Nyash from Nakuru, who also I get dogs from. So when I know you're a good breeder, you do your things in a straight line or rather in a straight way of doing it. No shortcuts, no inbreeding and all that sort. I'll come and select a good puppy from you, 2, 3, 4, put them together, train them on the specialized training they want, then wait for the market to come and pick up the dogs they want. Yeah.
Okay, you've mentioned inbreeding. As a trainer, what is the problem with inbreeding? I keep hearing this thing like you are not supposed to inbreed dogs. Can you talk about inbreeding as a trainer?
Inbreeding will just affect the dogs because you see, if we inbreed two, let me call them slow dogs, you'll get a more slower dog. If you breed a lineage where there is a disease, there's a disease that can occur in a generation. It's a genetical disease. So if you have a dog with that problem and you breed with the same line, maybe brother and sister with the same problem, what do you expect from the puppies?
They become worse.
Exactly. So when you breed, you're just like digging a hole deeper where you're standing. So if there's a problem in that line, it will just go deeper. It will go down. It will be the problem is more like incurring. So it's good when you're just selecting very good dogs from different lines and you come up with very good dogs rather than like you're trying to recycle your problems.
No.
Yeah, look, inbreeding is done with people who are doing, I can say, money minting or what, something like that. You are very fast in making money.
I had a term, puppy milling.
Puppy milling.
Yes, I heard that term. I'm becoming very knowledgeable. Now, when you're selecting the puppies, must they be registered?
Not really. Not really. Not really about registration. It's all about a good dog. A good dog with good drives. Yeah, I'm looking at ball drive. I'm looking at play drive. A dog that wants to play. The traits I check on the dog, the puppies. Yeah, not really about registration. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that all these are sniffer dogs, right?
Yes.
Like, explain to me, like, because in my world, like, how do you get to select a puppy and, like, now you say now, this one, we are going to train it for sniffing and not protection. How does that happen?
This comes about drives. Now, like, when I'm selecting my puppies, I look for ball drive, which I use with my balls. A dog that runs for the ball, it tells me it can do some fetching. When I'm throwing for the ball, comes back. It's easy for that dog to train on sniffing or rather detection. Then you come prey drive, prey about biting. You see, the dogs will just show that traits when they're very young. That dog is supposed to do man work or guarding or something else like biting there. So you can tell the difference when you're looking at the puppies. So if I approach a breeder, I know what I'm looking for in that dog. If someone else is doing guard dog or protection dogs, IGP and all that, they know what they're looking at the puppies. So what we normally look at is a very different thing. Me as a person who's dealing specifically with detection dogs, when I come to your kennels, there's something I'm looking for. And that's what I look for specifically. So I look for ball drive and I look for playful dogs. I need a jovial dog because there's a long term of working ahead of that dog. So I need a dog that will be jovial most of the time. Yeah.
Okay. Now, somebody asked me this question, like, Linda, which dog can I buy that will be good for my family and it will not hurt my kids or my family? Like, talk to that somebody. How do they treat a dog so that it doesn't, today it's a friend and tomorrow then it's an enemy?
This all begins, I don't expect a dog to be very good to you and the baby and your babies and the family members when you buy a mature dog. It's quite different and very difficult. So the best thing is, if you really want a dog to guard your compound or live with your family as a pet, you have to get that dog as a puppy. So when it's a puppy, you just do socialization with the family and the family pets. That's the cats, chicken, if you have other pets. Let that puppy get to understand these are my family members. That dog will grow loving everybody, loving everything in that compound. But if you buy a mature dog that's coming from nowhere and it will just fight everything it comes across. So they need to get a puppy. Then you can get a good trainer who will train that puppy on obedience. After obedience, you come, if it's protection, they do protection. If it's just obedience and then you're done with that, it's up upon the client what he wants.
Okay. So most of us have this habit of, like, when we buy dogs, we lock them away in the darkest corner of the homestead because we do not want it to see people. We do not want the dog to get used to a lot of people because we believe then it becomes fierce at night. What advice as a trainer would you give to dog owners who have dogs for protection about how the dog lives?
Locking dogs in dark corners and behind the compound is a very old school way of doing things. And it's happening, but it's a very old way of doing something, of working with dogs. If you get a proper trainer, the dog will work even without hiding that dog. I keep my dogs ahead here because this is the gate where people come in, they go out. And if it's a fierce dog, it's a fierce dog. It's trained to be a fierce dog, it'll be a fierce dog. But hiding it sometimes even will break the dog completely. You might open that door where you're hiding that dog, it can't come out. Why? Because it has never seen people, it's afraid of people. So just hiding the dog behind there and keeping it behind there is not a solution in terms of security. It's actually, even now, you're even getting it worse now. Because that dog doesn't know anything, doesn't know anybody. So biting can bite even yourself, because what do you expect from something that will be hiding in the dark? So if you really want to invest in a good dog, get a good breed, get a good trainer, feed your dog well, treat your dog right, get a good collar, get a good leash. Don't use chains, they'll cut your hand. Just get the proper tools of trade and With that, I guess you'll have the best dog around in terms of security.
Tools of trade. Yeah, I think this is where you kind of introduce us to your tools of trade. Like, what do you have? Like, show us.
My tools of trade, actually, you can see they're always in my hand. This is a clicker, and this is a Kong ball. This is what I have for my tools of trade. I don't have much. I don't fight for a lot of things. As much as my work is concerned, these are the most basic things I have to use in my work.
So a clicker.
A clicker. And
What does a clicker do?
a clicker is a trigger for a dog. When dog is working, maybe when I'm doing detection, when I click, it means the dog is coming for a reward. It knows after the clicker, the next is the reward, and the reward is a Kong ball. So these are basically my tools of trade.
Oh.
Yeah.
So a clicker and a Kong.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this. We've seen the balls. This is the first time I'm seeing a Kong. Why a Kong?
A Kong, this is an international reward, and it's good for the dog. The dog love playing with the Kongs. If you train the dogs on the Kong, and you see it's rubber-like, and dogs will like playing and chewing it because it doesn't break. So, and it has to be a good Kong, I can say, not hard, not so soft, because this is for smaller dog. As you can see, a smaller one. There's a bigger one on the other end. This is for smaller dog, actually for the spaniel. But when you train a dog on a ball reward like this one, we have people who reward dogs with food. And those dogs now, when they work, they know after that is the food they're going to be given. But now for my end, I give them the Kong. The dog love the Kong. They love playing. This is a toy for the dog.
Tell me what we are going to do.
We shall do, I think, a small demonstration on training one of our dogs to sum up what we've been talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You're ready?
I think we'll go to the tires, if you can call them. Those are my training aids.
So these are your teammates.
These are my training aids.
Training aids.
Yes.
Okay.
Not tools, among the tools of trade, but they're my training aids. And you can see some boxes.
The boxes. What are the boxes for?
You're supposed to hide something there, like this Kong. We use not like the samples you're training the dogs on. These dogs are not training on explosive or narcotic. You're training on something else. So we put one sample there, and the dog will search for that sample.
Oh.
Yes, and you can see we are using different materials because of scent discrimination. The stones, you have the brick, you have the wooden, you have the filters and the tires itself. So it's a lot of scent inclusive inside there, and you're trapping a lot of scent. Yes, so you can hide this anywhere there.
Okay, hold this for me. And I do exactly that. Where is the most challenging place? Yeah?
I think put around here, give it a chance to start from there by the time it gets in here.
Yeah, so by the time... Okay. Is that one hidden?
Yeah. This is just a demo we are doing, but normally when you're supposed to do this in a more professional way, you put your scent there.
Oh.
So this dog will not smell anything from there, but your scent will be here.
Ah.
So apart from what you put there, your scent is already there. Your footprints started from there and they stopped here. So that the dog can follow anything. Either your footprints to here, not actually prints that you can see, but when you're walking, you leave a lot of smell down when you're moving. So it can come either to your scent or to the scent of your hand, because you placed the height in the tire. No, like right now, I'll ask you to touch all the tires.
Okay.
You imprint all of them with your prints.
I have to imprint everything.
Yes. Let your scent be everywhere so that the dog cannot have a specific scent.
We're not making it easy for the dog.
No, don't make it easy at all costs. It has to be tough.
Oh my god. And finally here.
Yes. It's a long route up to there, but we are just going to stop there.
So officially I'm supposed to be in gloves and maybe something else?
No, that's enough now. If you don't have gloves...
Officially?
Now you're okay. Officially, you're supposed to have gloves so that you don't do contaminations.
Oh, okay.
Let me get the dog.
And there goes the rain.
Hold it here behind.
Okay.
So basically what's going to happen, you look at the dog's body language, because I will start from the other end. And then when the dog gets where you had placed your hide, you'll see the body language of the dog. And then from there, you'll wait. It's either sit, freeze, or it might sit, freeze, or maybe back. We just do passive indication. We're not active indication. Passive indication is where the dog will either sit, freeze, or lie down. Then you have active indication where the dog will get there, start scratching. You see it's active. It's either scratch, bark, or even pull with the mouth, whatever you place there. So all the active indications are very dangerous from my end. So we just do passive only.
Oh, you do passive?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm working with baby Zena, the oldest. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. God, no. Good girl. Sit down. Sit. Good girl. Back, Sach. Good girl. See, now the dog is trying to discriminate the scent. He's trying to smell everything. Good girl. So look at the dog's tail. Look at the body. Look at the dog.
It's happy. And then it
That's frozen. See, it's still looking at the air where the head was. Come on. Switch.
Yeah. Ah.
So you've seen the way it has frozen.
Yeah.
So it either freeze or it's still coming to where the hide was, because it remembers where the hide was. So you see, it loves the Kong and you give the Kong, actually enjoy the ball. Yeah. So it's still not. It still wants the ball out of that place.
So if we get it out, it will no longer go.
It will not stop there. If you change it and put it maybe to the first one, you can even change it now.
Okay.
And then at the end, take it to the first one.
Stop looking at me. Stop looking at me. Okay. Yes, we are done.
Okay. Come on. Come on, Sarah. Good girl. Good girl. This is where it was before. So look at it again. See if it will respond. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. You see, it's not even freezing.
Yeah.
Good girl. So what it's responding to right now, it's the contamination of that ball. But now when it gets the real scent, you'll see what it will do. Good girl. Back, Zena. I think now that's where you have hiding it.
Oh, good girl. Huh? And there was enough space for you to get the hair inside and find it out.
It's because so that it could pick it.
Uh-huh.
But it's okay.
Aww. So when it comes to training
Yes.
the dogs,
Yes.
I had you mention correction. I think we are familiar with obedience. You've seen the what correction? Explain that to me.
Correction is when the dog is not doing the right thing. You need to correct it, and this needs not to be violence or violent involvement. It should be in a very polite way. Yeah, it's a corrective method where you're supposed to use for the dog, so that you don't injure or harm the dog. Should be something very polite. Yeah.
What would be your parting shots?
I think if you want to become a breeder, meet other breeders and learn from them. If you want to become a trainer, you have to start as a handler. You can't become a trainer without becoming a handler.
Did you go through this?
Yes. I was a kennel hand. A kennel hand is someone who's cleaning the kennels. I was cleaning for the dogs for close to 2 years. So from there I became a dog handler. From dog handler I became a dog trainer. Dog trainer I became a team of trainers. So I think in line of what you want to learn. If you want to learn about training, meet a trainer and learn what they're learning. Plus, if you have the opportunity, just get somewhere you can learn the formal education about training, because not all will be taught by coming to my kennels, because I'll teach you what I think you need to see and understand, but there are basics you need to understand also behind that. There's a formal education that you need. It's normally assumed, but you will not work internationally without having that formal education. And that's why you'll find, go to South Sudan, the contract there, we don't have even one Kenyan. Go to Mali, no Kenyan. Go to Ethiopia, no Kenyan. Go to Somalia, right now we have only one Kenyan, that is Manta. Go to Syria, no Kenyan. Iraq, we have 2 Kenyans. You see, the number is minimal. But if you look at teams like Uganda, go to South Sudan, the contract has 80 handlers, 70 are Ugandans. So what does that tell you? We need that formal education. Without that formal education, you won't get there. And we want something at the end of the day. So we want, like when you go to these other countries where the dogs are working, I want to see Kenyans. We want to see, these are Kenyan, these are Kenyan, these are Kenyan. But we don't have them that. That's because we don't want to appreciate what is called formal education. I'm on a project, and we might be coming up with a dog academy very soon. It's a very big thing, I can say, but we will appreciate having a lot of people learning from there, and they'll get their formal education there. So it is in the pipeline. As much as I've said it was not supposed to be said. It's underway, because the biggest part was acquiring land, which we can say we're on the last part of it before we start infrastructure. So what I'll urge people, try to do a lot of formal education is very important. Even if you're a breeder, you need to have your paperwork well. This is my dog, this is how it feeds, this is the medical coverage of the dog, this is the feeding program of the dog. Let's have paperwork of what you're doing. It adds value when somebody needs something from you. Because the reason why I'll go to Artivan to get a dog, if I ask him a record from when the dog was born until today, I'll have.
Yeah, I saw that, and he has these files, and he can take you through the dog's information, the passports, the papers, the registration, certificates of blah, 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 all these things I'm still learning.
You will not get that anywhere else. And that's why I have to go there personally, because I'll get track of what I'm looking for. And when my client come here, when I give them the records, the same I have also of my training. Daily when I do my training, I record them. So I'll come up with a very big book, but for only one dog. They want to see that. And that's how you'll get to your market outside there. Not just a vaccination card. You need to have records of your dogs from when they are born to the day they die, if they die. So we're not embracing that, Kenyan, but we need to. We really need to embrace that.
If you love about dogs, if you want to know more about dogs, YouTube is good. This is why I'm here. But you need to take that extra step. And we have to show people who have taken that extra step, and they are here, they're telling their stories, right? So you need to learn from them. So this one is a guide to dogs. So this one is about adopting a dog. The indispensable guide for your newest family member. You see, you do not just go to get a dog. Read about what you're getting into first. Dog Lover's Companion. The inside scoop on where to take your dogs, wherever and beyond.
Very important.
And this one, very important. The doctor's book of home remedies for dogs and cats.
So pick up yourself and learn the basics of dog handling first. And then you can go start Googling and looking for international jobs. There are a lot of them outside there. A lot of them. Go online right now, you'll see a lot of jobs. But as again we said, formal education is very important. What will you present to them to tell them, this is who I am and this is how far I've worked? Because they need to see this individual, what do you have? Just like the way a HR will ask you, can I see a CV? They'll ask you for that. So I don't expect you to go to work international if you don't have anything to give them. Because they will definitely ask you something. We have international people working, like one Paul Makibia, working in UAE. He's a well-renowned dog handler. Now he's a trainer, I think, what he's doing right there. We have a Manta also. He's working in Somalia with very good background. So the more you learn these things, the formal education you have, that's how you can get out there. Because you can't get out there if you don't have anything.
Okay.
You can't get those contracts from international teams if you don't have
The right papers.
the right papers and not knowing the right people. I think the dogs are fighting for my treats.
They found the starch.
Yeah.
They found the starch. Smart dogs.
So what I'm saying, even those people who are coming here to select dogs, they'll come, they'll see the dogs, they'll ask you for the papers. Right now I'm working on their passports. They need to have their passports ready. When they come, they start from their vaccination card. They normally even ask for birth certificates. From which vet is these are a quack or a vet? Yes, they know. Normally they don't follow so much, but they want to know the documentation from the dog when it was born, and from the day it started the training. They'll follow up on paper. They'll have to check online because I'm doing this on my computers. So when I fill the forms every day about the training, they will want to see the positive and negative side. Because if I train and say the dog worked well to the last minute, that's a lie. At some point it refused, at some point it missed, at some point it found. You see, they need all this. When they see all this, they are sure they can work with you because you're giving them the protocols. You're following the procedures of what they're expecting. So if you don't put your records down, if you don't record everything you're working on, I don't expect someone will come and tell you, give me this. Unless it's just one who want to buy a pet, they don't mind about all that. But if you're looking forward to get a client out of this country, out of East Africa, out of Africa, you have to prepare well in terms of paperwork.
Okay.
Paperwork is very important for these people. They trust and believe what they read is exactly what they'll take.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm your girl, Linda Kenyita. I hope you've been challenged. I hope you've taken notes. I hope you come back to take notes. And also, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time we upload a new video. It's been awesome. It's been amazing. I'm out of words. So this is Linda Kenyita and this is Dog TV Kenya, the best documentary for all dog lovers. Until next time, bye.